Good evening, everyone. Today I stand before you with a simple yet powerful question. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? These words are more than just a call to action. They are a challenge, a responsibility, and a reminder that change starts with us. Too often we wait for someone else to take the lead, someone else to solve the problem, someone else to step up. But what if that someone is you? What if the right time is now? The power of one person. Every great movement in history began with a single person who dared to take a stand. One individual's courage, determination, and vision can ignite change that impacts generations. When we look at leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., or Malala Yousafzai, we see individuals who did not wait for permission or perfect conditions. They recognized that if they didn't act, no one else might. They understood that waiting for someone else to take responsibility would only delay progress, and so they took the first step. Despite challenges, despite fears, despite uncertainty, each of us has a unique ability to make a difference, no matter how small our contributions may seem. A simple act of kindness, a bold decision to speak up, or a commitment to work toward a cause can start a ripple effect that transforms community. We often underestimate our own influence, thinking that only those in positions of power can bring about real change. But history proves otherwise. Change does not always begin in government offices or corporate boardrooms. It begins in the hearts and minds of ordinary people who refuse to accept the status quo. Leadership is not about titles or positions. It is about taking responsibility where it is needed. It is about stepping forward when others hesitate, offering solutions instead of complaints, and inspiring those around us through action. Whether in our families, schools, workplaces, or society, we all have the power to lead and inspire change. The question is not whether we are capable, but whether we are willing. Will we wait for someone else to make things better, or will we take the initiative ourselves? The reality is that if we don't act, someone else may, but they may not share our vision, our values, or our sense of urgency. If we leave the responsibility to others, we risk allowing problems to persist or worsen. Every great leader was once just an ordinary person who made the decision to take responsibility instead of waiting. And that same choice is in front of each of us today. So if not you, then who? 2, overcoming fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are some of the greatest barriers to action. We often hesitate to step forward because we are afraid of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. The thought of making mistakes or facing criticism can be overwhelming, leading us to believe that we are not ready or capable enough. However, the truth is that no one ever feels fully prepared before taking on a challenge. Growth happens not when we wait for the perfect moment, but when we take action despite our fears. Many of the world's greatest leaders and innovators experienced self-doubt at some point in their journeys. They faced opposition, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. Yet what set them apart was their willingness to move forward anyway. They understood that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the path to success. Every mistake, every challenge, and every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. If they had waited until they felt completely ready, their impact on the world might never have happened. We must recognize that doubt is a natural part of any meaningful endeavor. It is a sign that we care about what we are doing and that we are stepping out of our comfort zones. The key is not to let that doubt paralyze us. Instead, we should embrace it as a sign that we are pushing ourselves toward growth. No one is born a leader, an activist, or a change maker. These qualities are developed through experience, and experience only comes from taking action. If we keep waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, or the right level of confidence, we may end up waiting forever. The perfect moment rarely exists. The people who change the world are not the ones who wait for certainty, but the ones who take a leap of faith, trusting that they will figure things out along the way. Every journey begins with a single step, and that step must be taken now, not later. Instead of asking ourselves, what if I fail, we should ask, what if I succeed? Instead of saying, I'm not ready, we should say, I'll learn as I go. The difference between those who make an impact and those who don't is not the absence of fear, but the courage to act in spite of it. 3, small actions create big change. When we think about making a difference, we often assume that change requires grand gestures or extraordinary efforts. However, the truth is that change begins with small actions. A single step in the right direction, no matter how small, has the potential to create a ripple effect that reaches far beyond what we can imagine. Every movement, every revolution, and every transformation in history started with a simple action. One person deciding to do something instead of nothing. It is easy to feel insignificant in a world filled with complex challenges like poverty, inequality, climate change, and injustice. We may ask ourselves, what difference can one person really make? But history has shown us that even the smallest actions, when repeated consistently and taken by enough people, can lead to massive change. A kind word, a helping hand, standing up for someone who is being treated unfairly, or even sharing an important message can be the beginning of something greater. Small actions also inspire others to act. When one person speaks up, others feel encouraged to do the same. When one person decides to give their time or resources to a cause, others follow. Change is contagious. Just like a single drop of water can create ripples across an entire pond, one small act of courage or kindness can influence the people around us, creating a chain reaction that grows over time. Moreover, small actions are sustainable. We may not always be in a position to make sweeping changes overnight, but we can all commit to small, meaningful steps every day. Whether it's choosing to be more mindful of our words, making environmentally friendly choices, volunteering in our communities, or simply treating others with respect, these actions build momentum. Over time, they accumulate into something powerful. The key is to start somewhere. Waiting for the perfect opportunity to make a big impact may result in never acting at all. Instead of thinking that our efforts are too small to matter, we should recognize that even the tiniest acts of goodness and bravery contribute to a larger movement. A small voice speaking up against injustice can inspire others to do the same. A single person making an ethical decision can encourage businesses and institutions to follow suit. Every great change begins with one person, one decision, one action. The power of small actions should never be underestimated because together they have the potential to change the world. 4, the time is now. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, yet it is also the easiest to waste. Too often we delay action, telling ourselves that we will start tomorrow, next week, or when the time is right. But the truth is, waiting rarely leads to progress. If we always wait for the perfect moment, we may find that it never comes. The problems we see in the world, whether in our communities, our workplaces, or even in our own personal lives, will not fix themselves. Action must be taken. And the best time to start is now. Procrastination is one of the greatest obstacles to change. We convince ourselves that we need more experience, more resources, or more confidence before we begin. But in reality, action creates experience, effort attracts resources, and taking the first step builds confidence. The more we delay, the harder it becomes to start. Every moment spent waiting is a moment lost, and lost moments add up to lost opportunities. We live in a time of great challenges, but also great possibilities. The world is changing faster than ever. And those who take action today are the ones who shape the future. Whether it is standing up for social justice, protecting the environment, helping someone in need, or pursuing our own personal goals, the impact of our actions today will be felt tomorrow. The longer we wait, the more we allow problems to grow, solutions to slip away, and opportunities to disappear. Think about the greatest innovators, activists, and leaders throughout history. They didn't wait until everything was perfect. They acted when the need was urgent. Imagine if they had delayed their efforts, waiting for someone else to take the lead. The world would be a very different place. Similarly, the future is being shaped right now by those who choose to act rather than wait. The time for change, growth, and leadership is not someday, it is today. We all have a role to play, and our actions, no matter how small, contribute to something greater. If we want to see a better world, a stronger community, or a brighter future, we must be willing to step up in the present. The clock is always ticking, and the longer we hesitate, the more opportunities slip away. So instead of asking ourselves whether now is the right time, we should ask, if not now, then when? In the end, the question remains, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? The responsibility to create change, to take action, and to make a difference does not belong to someone else. It belongs to each of us. We cannot afford to wait for perfect conditions, for someone else to take the lead, or for the right time to arrive. The right time is now, and the right person is you. Every great movement, every act of progress, and every moment of change has been driven by individuals who chose action over hesitation. Whether it is in our families, communities, workplaces, or the world at large, we all have the ability to be agents of change. Our choices, no matter how small, create ripples that can turn into waves of transformation. So let us not wait. Let us rise with courage, take responsibility, and play our part in shaping the future. The world needs leaders, thinkers, and dreamers and doers, and that person is you. The moment to act is now. The power to make a difference is in your hands. Will you step up? Thank you.